Hi, it's Michele Maher here, and I'm here today with Victoria Lorient Faibish. Thank you so much, Victoria, for coming on here and giving me the time to talk about how we're dealing with these challenging times we're going through, keep a positive mindset, and get creative on ways to pivot, whether it's in our business or just in our lives. So thank you. If you want to let us know a bit about you.
Oh, thanks for having me, Michelle. I'm so happy to be here. I'm wearing one of your pieces. See, I'm a little sweaty because I just worked out, climbed the stairs of my building. Woo! Yeah, so I'm a registered psychotherapist. I'm also a holistic psychotherapist. These days, I'm calling myself a global holistic psychotherapist because I'm doing Zoom therapy all over the world. And, you know, a quarter of a century of doing this work. And I was thinking to myself, how the heck am I going to do this body-centered psychotherapy on Zoom? Because in the office, there's actual body, there's Reiki, there's craniosacral polarity therapy, talk therapy, and I've translated this onto Zoom therapy sessions, or rather remote, WhatsApp, Zoom, Skype, whatever it may be. And it's powerful because I've really honed a skill that I learned early on in my career, but is now being so useful, which is remote distance energy work, in which I train or teach the client, and I have an intention to do it on a wide scale, teach people the actual technique or two to calm the nervous system, but then I layer it on with some distance Reiki. So pretty powerful. And so I was saying to you earlier, I want to be able to do that, with as many people who want to learn that. Just, I want to give that free as something that people can do on themselves and do on their family members, do to themselves, teach their family members how to do to themselves as well. So yeah, it's a combination. That's sort of my bio for now.
Yeah, no, yes. And I know you speak quite often, and in the past I've seen you speak quite,
Yeah,
and
the
obviously
Stop Dimming Your Light. You came to my Stop Dimming Your Light workshop, which was one of my first iterations of that new content.
Yes, yeah, and it was great. So of course this has all changed since we no longer have live events happening. And
for now,
exactly, for now. And I'm just going back to why I started doing this is that when we first started getting all the postponement of live events, I had all kinds of vendor tables booked that were being postponed.
For your beautiful jewelry, which I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I love your stuff.
And then of course the sports got canceled, other things, and you saw the toilet paper fiasco online and the grocery store lines and everything. And I really felt being being just sucked into that black hole of fear, and I didn't want to stay there at all. I knew I didn't want to stay there.
Good.
So I kind of, I went through that. I went to the grocery store. Well, I actually went to Costco, with all the people and all that. But I just and then I felt a bit better. And then I just decided that I was going to do these interviews to talk to different entrepreneurs, because I know so many fabulous people.
Yeah.
And just to see, how everyone's coping through the situation.
Yes.
Now, at the beginning, it was just crazy, right? Everything was changing on an hourly basis. And there was just, it felt like some of those days were almost months long. Like it felt like you've gone through a month, but it was only a day because everything changed so much.
Right.
I think now we've gone into the point where we're more into a routine.
Right. I agree.
That is a different sort of routine.
Yeah.
What was your experience as we went through the, that first bout when everything was being shut down?
I mean, I think for me, it was, because as a psychotherapist, I'm dealing with people's trauma, people's anxiety. So it was a heightened experience for some people who already had anxiety as part of their being. There was less anxiety because, great, I don't have to leave the house. And that for some people was like, great, don't have to leave the house, it's all happening from home, great. For other people who are extroverted, or they're in bad relationships but they've got to live with those bad relationships, the trauma just augmented massive. And so my whole theory, or my whole battle cry in all of this is, joy and peace are an inside job. It's an inside job that we have to up that muscle, really work that muscle so that we, can sort of tune out the outside world if that is something that is causing us issues. So, go on a media fast and make sure that you're only consuming reputable, high quality, science-based media once a day or once every 2 days versus
Right.
every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day. Enough of that. Stop that. Also, just people experiencing what I would call the most difficult of the cases, which are the two. You live on your own, you have no one to touch and no prospect for touching anyone anytime soon, because either your family's away, you're not with a partner, your friends are far. So that's really hard. That can cause a lot of depression in people.
Yes.
And there was an increase in that. And those who are working moms, working hard, but also homeschooling their little children, and partners that expect them to keep the house clean. That's another case of very, very difficult situation. So the people who have fared the best are those who have great partnerships, that both people are working the program, everyone's dividing the chores, everybody's supporting each other, and regular touch and regular conversations. Those are the ones, obviously, that don't grace my world as much, because I'm a psychotherapist, and you're going to come to a psychotherapist when you're not doing so fantastically.
Right.
So, and I teach a lot of techniques, Michele. My type of therapy is not just talking about what the talking head, because we're not just talking heads. We are minds, we are bodies, we are souls. We have all parts of us that are absolutely needing to be engaged. Like visualization is so important, so that you don't feed the monster, feed the negative story, the negative outcome. And so that's
Right.
a lot of what I've been doing with people. But how it was at the beginning was a lot of shock. And now we're just, as you said, we've settled into a routine, or people have become more depressive, more anxious, because there's no end in sight for some people.
Yes, right, exactly. And I think when you talk about the people who are alone, this is I think
Very
a
difficult.
great time to have a pet.
Oh my
those
gosh.
that have pets, it's a huge,
So lucky, so good.
a huge benefit for sure. I found myself initially, I was really consuming a lot of news because it was new. I think, because it was new and changing and everything, I wanted to know what's
Wanted
happening.
to know what's going on, yeah.
And things were changing on an hourly basis.
I know.
Now not so much.
But
So
what about
now I haven't watched news. I haven't looked at news. I'll get whatever update I get from, family members who consume news all the time, or friends that do. And really, it's just the most important thing is staying safe and doing what we are supposed to do. What the government's asked us to do to keep everybody else safe.
And then what about all those incredible conspiracy theories? It's just they're running rampant. It's just everywhere. So I don't choose to consume a lot of that fear-based thinking, or even that thinking that says, I don't trust the situation I'm in. If I were maybe in a different country, I might feel that way, but I really love that we're in Canada. And I feel like all levels of government are working in a very logical and a very compassionate way, and very scientific and based on science. And I really appreciate that. I really do.
Yes, and I think also that all the governments are working together.
It's
the
so helpful.
Party lines are blurred. It doesn't really matter.
I think it's helpful for our psyche. It's helpful for our psyche. And so I think that, when you're looking at our neighbors down south, and that's not the same case. There's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of dissonance. So my clients from America are from the United States are definitely experiencing larger levels of anxiety and fear, so that's something that I'm working to have the mind be trained and rewired for rest and relaxation and calm and peace, versus tuning into the outside world for any kind of a stimulus that feeds into that sort of cycle of a feedback system, a feedback loop of fear.
Yeah, fear breeds more fear and breeds more fear, and it's just contagious.
And there's nothing you can do about your environment really sometimes. So as Viktor Frankl said, you got to change. It's an inside job. You got to change within yourself.
Yes, and it's all a matter of perspective and a matter of choice. how you choose to see this situation. I myself have used the unfollow option on Facebook more than I ever have.
Oh, really?
I don't want to see those conspiracy, theories being shared or negative stuff. And there's been a lot of judgment I've found too. Just judgment of others, what they're doing. And I don't think this is a time to judge others or to judge yourself as well.
Well, yes, I think there's a lot of pressure to learn a language, do something different, be the business person, listen, give yourself time to rest and relax. I mean, I myself am definitely fall into that category where I think, okay, people are at home. I have a duty to share good content at either free or very low expense so people can consume positive ways to help themselves. And I just want to make sure I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, although I really enjoy creating content. But people are definitely hard on themselves. And then, of course, there's all that bread making, which is gonna cause your blood sugar to do this, and all that non-routine, not exercising. I'm like, get into exercising, get into good food. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. We have no end in sight. So let's just make sure we see this as the new normal. And that's hard for people. Bite that bullet, face that monster, and see this as, the new normal that we have to make peace with.
Right. I know there were a lot of people saying, oh, when things go back to normal, and that's not happening.
And some people have trouble with me saying this is the new normal, but I'm like, I don't know how else to put it. This is the way it is. This experience is what it is right now. And so we've got to sort of get in the groove and get in the wave and use it in a way that is going to be somehow positive for us. And honor your pain. Give yourself time to cry. I certainly do. Give yourself time to grieve. I certainly do. I miss going to the theater, going to restaurants, meeting up with my girlfriends for brunch. I miss all of that and a bag of chips. Well, I don't miss a bag of chips because sometimes I have a bag of chips. What I mean to say is I grieve it, but then do a time limit on your grieving and then move toward creating a tremendously positive relationship with this time, which in my opinion involves balanced exercise, balanced eating, balanced thought, reach out to people as much as you can via virtually, and consume affirmations. I wanted to share that with your people, people. People are like, how do I, keep my mind from being a monster? And I'm actually going to share, right, I'm going to get sort of, I can't share, I think, because here we go. I'm gonna share some of these affirmations just so people can hear them. And the basic ones are, I am safe, all is well. Here's a good one. Everything is working out better than I expect.
Right. Yeah.
I trust in the process of life. And a lot of people don't. And the other one that I really, really, really love, which I think is so important, is I have a deep well within my being from which I derive my sense of safety and my sense of peacefulness.
Yeah.
I have a deep well within my being from which I derive my sense of safety and my sense of peacefulness, which really speaks to the inside job that I was talking about.
Yes, as opposed to deriving your peace from the outside world being peaceful or calm. And the fact is that when this first started, we lost control, right? Yeah. That's what it was, a loss of control. And that's where the fear comes from. So
and
now,
do you sell your jewelry online?
Yes.
Okay, good. So
yes, I do.
People need to know that, right? Yeah. I
had an online store already.
Okay.
I was actually right in the middle of doing some messaging, rebranding and messaging and changing up my website. And I actually got a photo shoot done right before, like on March 10th.
Oh my
I had
gosh.
a photo shoot done. So,
how fortuitous.
Yeah, and it's so funny because my photographer, we had it planned, but we didn't have a set date. And then all of a sudden she said she felt like we had to do it. Like she just said that she
That's it.
felt like we just had to do it, and she reached out to me to schedule it, and that's why we got it done. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been done before this. And then you know, who knows when it would be done. So I already got those pictures back. So I'm working on the messaging and all that stuff. But the for you, you would meet people in person a lot.
Yes, I did a lot of on live events, and my clients are all in my office, mostly, not all, but 80% were in my office. But now 100% are on Zoom or on WhatsApp or Skype or any way we can find each other. Zoom I find to be the best. And now the paid Zoom has a lot of security features. So I feel very secure on Zoom. You have a waiting room, you have a password, you have all these, you know, plugins that are security based. So I'm great with that.
Right. And Zoom is actually great because it also has these breakout rooms when you get into the bigger meetings. I was on a couple like that where we broke out into little groups of 2 and 3 to discuss stuff and come back to the big group. And
amazing.
So going forward, I think there's a lot of opportunity for people to use these technologies. And this is the time to get creative and start thinking of how you can use 100%. This technology going forward. And for people who have live events, you have it online, and maybe you'll continue to have this online event plus your live event in the future.
So this is what I was thinking, and my so I have a summit coming up, which is I want to just tell everybody about.
Yes, for sure. It starts tomorrow.
Okay.
So
the summit starts tomorrow, which is, you know, kind of exciting, and it's a game. It's called, the summit is called Love Yourself Then Find Me. It's basically about unlocking love within and attracting a healthy relationship into your life. I mean, even though we're on, you know, lockdown, we still want to, you know, prepare ourselves for good relationships. And the good relationships are not going to happen just by repeating what you learned in the family of origin. So you can tune in for free, which is my webinar Wednesday, May 6th at 1 p.m. But you can have access to the entire summit, including my webinar, Evergreen, Forever, and On Demand, 3 days, 22 speakers, 4 categories. And you get it all for free if you watch it live, or Evergreen and On Demand if you get it. Basically, as soon as the summit goes live, the price will jump significantly. Right now, it's $97 for all of that. And it's going to go up to $147 once it starts, and then $197 after the summit. So I'm telling people, get your summit pass now so you can have it free, so you can have it on demand and evergreen. And if you want, just watch it live, which is totally fine. But if you decide, oh my goodness, I'm loving this content and I don't have time to watch it because I've got other things going on, just put out the, you know, the $97, and I think you will tremendously enjoy it. And mine is very similar to the one you attended, the one called Stop Dimming Your Light. This one, Stop the Dim, Time to Shine, Stop Family BS. So I have a lot of what you attended, but then I added a bunch of other stuff to it. And those who register can have access for a free guided meditation, reconnection with your inner child. So if you do, you'll make sure you'll get that sent to you. And also I have 12 free codes for my Audible audiobook, Find Your Self Culture, Moving from Depression and Anxiety to Monumental Self-Acceptance. And you'll just email me, and the information is on there. Once you register, I will give that to you, an Audible code. But can I also tell you about something else I'm doing, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
So the other thing that I'm doing, so hopefully people will tune into that. I have been asked to join this great Netflix style platform to up your dating and relationship game. Yes, you're home, you're on lockdown, you still want to absolutely consume content that is about, you know, getting confidence in your dating game, strategies to attract toward you the kind of people that you want to attract in dating for when you get out there. And even I think now is a great time to get to know people in this online world of ours.
Yeah,
you know, I think it's take sex out of the equation. Well, maybe sex with each other out of the equation, maybe sex with yourself. My point is that Kismet Academy is an amazing platform. And I'm going to put, if you'd like, I don't know if I can, what I will do is I will put the links on the chat if you'd like for both of these. What's that?
You can give me that that information. I'm going to put right under this interview when I put
Okay.
the interview up online,
Okay, great.
so that people can see where to go.
Do they see the chat? Do you know? Probably not, eh?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, so
It's
I'll
a
send
separate.
all to you. I'll send that all to you. So Kismet Academy, I also have a link for that, but it's so inexpensive, but it's a platform where you get all, once you become a member, like Netflix, you just get all this amazing content. So it's worth it to educate yourself, but also, you know, find ways to have more confidence, get yourself set up for dating. And it's what I'm all about, is positive, good, healthy relationship culture.
Yeah, right. And I mean, really, it's some of that stuff flows over into just relationships in general, not necessarily dating, but how to
Doesn't
have
have to
more
be, it can
confidence
be,
is going to help you in your business.
no kidding. Not only help you in your business, but help you in your parenting, help you in your relationship at home, help you with your customers, all of that.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And when you talk about it being an inside job, and you know, like all the distractions have been removed from us, all the external distractions we might have had. Like
Mhm.
before this, I know for me, I always felt like I couldn't catch up,
Mhm.
always running here, there, wherever. You know, like we're always rushing or thinking, what's the next thing I have to get done? And
Right.
now you have time to actually sit and be present, and sit and be with yourself, and decide who you want to be after, you know, going forward.
I love that you're saying that. I think it's so true.
Yeah.
I've had people express to me the difficulty around all this online learning curve, like just, you know, the online technology. But once you've mastered that,
Yeah.
which is not as complicated as it might seem, once you've mastered that, to, you know, the world of appointments and running around and driving in traffic is kind of stopped. And that's
Right.
powerful. That's powerful.
Definitely. For us who live in Toronto, we know what traffic is all about, and to me, that's one of the biggest stressors is
I
traffic,
mean,
traffic and parking.
to see Bathurst and St. Clair
Yeah.
virtually with 3 cars right now, whereas normally it's wall to wall traffic. I can't even, I'm on the 20th floor and I cannot have the window open normally because there's beeping and beeping and beeping and
Yeah.
beeping. Anyways, I'm thrilled. I'm kind of happy about it. I know the economy is suffering, but I feel that we've done great as a country because we have this minimum amount of money that's in people's pockets mostly, and we
Yeah.
have, you know, we've deferred taxes for a little later, so we have money in our pockets so that when it all comes back, we're going to be able to, you know, kickstart the economy.
Right. And I think now that, you know, like you say about the learning curve, like this is the time, then spend the time, learn the technology so that you're ready. Because this technology is going to be incorporated in, you know, a lot of people are going to be going forward having an online presence in addition to live.
Oh
And
my
I
gosh,
think from
yes.
the corporate standpoint, I think that corporations are going to embrace having, you know, Zoom meetings where they might have had in-person meetings,
It's so true.
because it's going to save them money.
I know.
And that, you know, we know that's the most important thing to them. And but it's also going to help the, you know, the employees. It
Yeah.
will, you know, help with their stress levels because they don't have
Totally.
to. Same with working from home. Working from home is something that I know a lot of the old style corporations always felt the, you know, they didn't embrace working from home as a concept. And now everybody's had to work from home.
And it's great. I think it's been great for a lot of people.
And it shows people can get work done. Work does
Yeah.
get done.
Absolutely. I mean, I see that with my clients who are corporate employees who are getting to work from home. They're loving it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you have the flexibility and you don't have to, it's that commute, right? That commute.
Commute's a bit deadly. The commute's a bit deadly.
It is. And it's, you know, if it's going to take some cars off the road, it's also going to help with the environment and the pollution and all
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's there's a lot of positives in there, and you know, this is happening for a reason. We
People get
couldn't go
really,
we couldn't
people,
go crazy like we were before.
I think people get a little pissed when I say, oh, it's all happening for a reason, you know, for something to, but I say, listen, what else? I mean, if you can, to me, it's just a way to wrap your mind, whether it's happening for a reason or not.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening, which means we've got to find some meaning in it. You know, again, Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, always said, find the meaning in anything that's happening. Find the reason, find the meaning to you. What does this all mean to you? And to me, that's a way to transform a very, very scary negative thing into something quite positive. So hence the mental, emotional work on yourself through affirmations, exercise, and also try and meditate. Try and keep your mind still, more still, because sometimes in the silence, people get a little bit loud in there.
True. You can as well. And I know that a lot of people have embraced meditation during this period of time. And I think there's going to be, you know, what habits do you want to continue going forward? Look at what you were doing.
Real discernment.
Figure out what your values are, who you want to be, and figure out, and then try different things out, try different habits. I mean, practices, habits, and see what works for you going forward. That's what I think is the is key right now. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for your time.
My pleasure.
It like you say, we don't know how long this is going to continue.
So prepare yourself to have it be more of a marathon than a sprint.
Right. Exactly.
Don't wait for it to change. Just be in the now and work with the now.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And I will send you links for the online summit starting tomorrow, Kismet Academy for dating and relationships, and also some information about this new concept that I've got, which is to do this free teaching / healing of the distance energy work that I do with the one-on-one clients that I have found to be so effective.
Yeah, that's great. That's something I would be interested in myself as well.
Oh, and tell everybody, because I'm going to be able to do it on Zoom, 100 people, which is the limit, 100 people. Yeah. So I want to be able to get about 100 people on there if possible.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, we're all, you know, the one thing I love that I see is everybody coming together as a community and wanting to serve and help others. And whether it's people going to buy groceries for the elderly, or people just wanting to help each other, reaching out to clients, asking, how are you doing? Not trying to sell or anything like that, just how are you doing? Genuine concern for everybody. And I think that's something we need to continue going forward, be compassionate and, come together as a community, global community.
Together. Exactly.
Yes, for sure. All right. Well, thank you.
Amazing.
Victoria. So
thank you,
I
Michelle.
will put this up. Thank you, and enjoy this. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. Stay healthy, and I look forward to when we can see each other in person again.
Ditto. Big hug, sweetheart. Be well.
All right. Okay. Thank you. You too.